Hey guys, welcome to the Furtado Group. I'm Ruben Furtado and we're back at the Yolanda project. Today I'm going to be talking to you with a couple of tips on how do you actually create the illusion of space, both in width and size as well as height. I'm also going to give you a couple bonus tips on looking at some of the little details that can make a huge difference in the actual fit and finish of your project. So one of the first things is, this house here, we try to make it as much of an open concept as possible. However, we do have to segregate some of the rooms. For example, this entire section of the house right now encompasses the office in the front, then you're gonna have an entrance closet, and then you're also gonna have a mudroom with access to your garage, and there's also a powder room in there. But when you're working with a smaller space, if you have a lot of doors, especially with a lower ceiling, you really start bringing the attention to the height of the doors and the height of the ceilings and all the different doors. So it almost looks like an Alice in Wonderland kind of a concept. So, but what we want to do is we want to conceal those doors. We want to create these illusions of these like long-running panels. And how we do that is we actually do this with millwork. So that instead of doing drywall, we've actually paneled this entire area, creating like this cube effect, all with millwork. But now here's where we go into the details. This millwork has to get secured on here somehow, right? So one of the ways it was done here is obviously it's screwed in. We want to hide those screws. So how did we do that? We actually use these black U-channels done in aluminum that are in black metal. And now what we want to do is we want to create that, which is something that was a necessity. We wanted to turn it into an architectural feature. So you'll notice we run the horizontal lines on the bottom, which we kept right near the baseboard. And then we have another horizontal line on the top that's absolutely necessary. The reason why it's necessary is because we actually have doors in this section. And because where the doors are, there's some are pocket doors, some have concealed hinges, but that's going to be the height of the door. So we make sure that we run that line continuously. So this is the important thing, is that horizontal line runs continuously all the way across from one side to the other, which is what creates the illusion of that space. So number two is height. How do we create the illusion of height? One of the things we want to do is we want to create these long vertical lines. And very much like we did with the black reveal on the other panels, here we actually did it with the kitchen. On each side of the kitchen, we've anchored these two large towers. And you'll notice there isn't any really interruption in color or lines going across horizontally. More importantly, the actual wood grain on these panels, you'll notice, is also running vertical. The homeowner here wanted to run them horizontal. I said, no, that defeats the purpose. We want to actually run these vertical. And you're gonna see how that creates this height. In addition to that is windows. You want to be able to basically take your windows far to the floor as possible and as high as to the ceiling. Here we couldn't go any higher because we already had headers in those areas, but we did bring the windows a lot further to the ground, which is also giving it a lot more height when you look at it. Also, to create the illusion of larger space, one thing that we don't want to do is make something look too busy and chop things up. So we actually took the Caesar stone counter and we wrapped it all the way up to the backsplash, keeping it very clean and a very long slab, which again is creating this illusion of space. Same thing with our counter. Our counter here in the island, we basically created a 10-foot island. We could have gone a bit bigger. The only problem is when you start looking at slabs that are greater than 10 feet, they get pretty costly. So we kept it down to 10 feet. All right guys, so this is gonna be our study. And what we wanted to do here is instead of having a door here, again, we want to avoid having doors because of the space. But at the same time, we wanted to add a pocket door here so that in this area could actually be treated as a common area as well. So you could leave that door open as long as the office is nice and tidy. It becomes a really nice extension of this common area here. So that's going to be a pocket door. So wherever you can, you want to leverage pocket doors. In this section here, that's going to be our entrance closet, which we absolutely need. And again, we're doing that on a concealed hinge, so you won't even know it's there. And then the other door here, that ideally would have been a pocket, but again, trying to conserve some of the cost, we ended up going with the normal door that's going to go open into that area. So just follow me for a quick sec. So because this area now is an access to the powder room, it is going to be a common area. So we want to make sure that this is going to be finished really, really nicely. So we did all custom millwork in here, but instead of being open shelves, there's actually going to be doors and drawers that actually cover the area up so that it's going to be a really nice access point to the actual powder room. So the last thing I want to talk about is, again, going back to the details. The details could either make or break a project. So here, this was an afterthought to conceal the screws using the black U-channel. So now that we've embraced this as an architectural feature, what we want to do is we want to make sure that, for example, our light switches, our plugs, anything that's going to be on this wall is not white, it's going to be black. Our thermostat is also going to be black. As you look over by where the staircase is right here, there's going to be a glass from floor to ceiling. And then we have some hardware. It's called a U-channel that's going to hold the glass and secure it on the bottom and the top. We're also going to powder coat that black. Our handrail will be black. And that's going to tie everything together really, really nicely. Now, I want to step back here real quick. Because this is going to be an access point, and when you actually look this way, you're going to have a sight line to really the side of the TV. That's another thing I normally have a problem with. I know nowadays TVs are getting thinner and thinner, but when you're actually walking right beside the side of the TV, you can still see behind it. You see the bracket, you see the wires. So again, to make this look really polished and professional and custom, is that the TV that we're going to have here, we're actually going to build a frame around it in matte black, where the TV is going to be recessed in with basically a small reveal and also a 3/4 inch black frame around it. So when you walk around the corner, you won't see anything. It's going to look like it's part of this wall, and the TV is going to be flush mounted into that actual frame. Now, earlier on we did a video, and this is really important because before you probably couldn't see it and understand it, but now you can. We were supposed to have a bulkhead across the back wall here. And I didn't want the bulkhead because it would be highly noticeable. When you have a bulkhead, you'd see that corner now that would be protruding out on this millwork. So because we knew we were going to have this contrast from obviously the millwork to the drywall on the ceiling. So what we chose to do is we actually put the bulkhead, we were able to reconfigure everything, put the bulkhead on the back wall. Because the ceiling's white, the walls are white, that gets completely concealed. So now we have this really, really clean wall and this height uninterrupted.